If you want your story to be featured, share it at the email on the description. When I was younger, I had a circle of friends. My best friend Mary was really close to me. We stayed up talking at night almost every weekend. My neighborhood was a safe neighborhood. There were no crimes or incidents reported in the 10 years I'd lived there. No strange stuff or anything at all. After a couple of years, we lost touch. We weren't as close anymore, but I still considered her my best friend. We just talked on the phone sometimes, but not like before. I still lived in the same neighborhood, but Mary no longer lived there. I was aware that she visited her house from time to time. One day I went out to walk my dog. I like to walk my dogs late at night because it was calm, and I liked the silence of the night. It was around 11 p.m. when I went with one of my dogs to my closest park. I had been walking for about 5 minutes, and I was having memories of the times I used to hang out in that park with Mary and other friends. I went to a place we called the Secret Place. It was a small corner of the park that was covered in trees, and there was only one light that usually wasn't working. I let my dog go off leash a little bit since there was no one there. Then my dog started barking at a corner. I went to where he was. It was the secret place. The light wasn't working as usual, and the place was a little bit dark. In the darkness, I saw a shadow. I was curious, but I wasn't scared because the neighborhood was a safe place. I started walking towards the shadow, and the shadow was becoming clearer. I was about 7 meters from the shadow when I saw the face. It was Mary, my best friend. I was shocked, but I didn't think it was weird. Mary used to hang out in that park with me in the past, so I tried to talk to her and I said, "Hey, Mary, what are you doing here? Are you back for the weekend?" But I received no answer. My dog kept barking and started growling. My dog was really scared. I tried to communicate with Mary one more time, but I wasn't walking towards her. I was keeping my distance. Again, I received no answer. I started walking towards her. As I started walking and getting closer, she started going back and back, getting to the dark corner. I saw her going back, but it looked weird. It looked like she wasn't walking. It looked like she was floating. I took 3 more steps towards her, and then suddenly she went into the dark place, and her silhouette completely disappeared. At that point, I started to get scared and was in a little shock. I was asking myself, was it Mary? What was she doing here? I grabbed my dog and I went to the street, far from the park. It was around 11:15 p.m., and it was really late. I didn't give it any more thought and I went to my house and went to sleep. The next day, I decided to call Mary. I hadn't talked to her for about a month, so I didn't really know what she was up to. She answered the call, and the first thing I asked was, "Were you back there at the park last night? From our neighborhood?" She was confused and she said, "No, it wasn't me. I'm not currently in town. I'm on vacation with my mom in Canada." A cold sensation went through my whole body when she said she wasn't there. I was sure it was her that I saw. She sent me pictures and made a video call showing me where she was. I couldn't believe it. Mary was not in town, but I was sure I just saw her the previous night. I told her the entire story, and she was also in shock. To this date, I don't have a clear answer of what happened that night. I'm sure I saw someone. My dog barked at someone. I was not alone there. But now, I still don't know what it was. It had been a long day at work. I had been working late and I was exhausted. I just wanted to go home and get some sleep. The rain started to come down. It was a heavy rain, and the wind was blowing hard. The raindrops were so hard that they felt like they were stinging my face. I got to my car and started driving home. The rain was coming down so hard that I could barely see the road in front of me. I was tired and I wasn't paying attention to my driving. I started to drift off to sleep, and then I woke up in a gas station. I was sitting in my car, the engine still running. I had pulled over to get gas, but I had fallen asleep at the pump. I didn't remember how I got there. The attendant was standing next to my car, looking at me with concern. "Are you okay?" he asked. I nodded. "I'm fine," I said. "Just tired." I got out of the car and stretched. The rain had stopped, but the sky was still dark. I could see the outline of a figure standing in the distance, wearing a white shirt. "Who's that?" I asked the attendant. "I don't know," he said. "I haven't seen anyone else around here." I started to walk towards the figure, but then I stopped. I had a feeling that I shouldn't go any closer. The figure was tall and slender, with long, dark hair that was blowing in the wind. It was wearing a white shirt that was soaked through with rain. The figure's face was hidden in the shadows, but I could see that it was staring at me. "Wait here," I said to the attendant. "I'll be right back." I walked towards the figure, but it started to walk away from me. I chased after it, but it kept getting further and further away. I was running as fast as I could, but I couldn't catch it. Finally, the figure disappeared into the darkness. I stopped running and looked around. I was alone. There were no lights in the street, and there was a cold breeze. I started walking back to the gas station. I got back in my car and drove away. I didn't know what to make of the figure. Was it just a coincidence? Or was it something more? I drove home and went to bed. I had a dream that night about the figure in the white shirt. In the dream, the figure was standing in the middle of the road. I was driving towards it, and I couldn't stop. I woke up in a cold sweat. The next day, I went back to the gas station. I asked the attendant if he had seen the figure in the white shirt. He said that he hadn't. I told him about my dream, and he just shook his head. I never saw the figure again, but I still think about it sometimes. I don't know what it meant, but I'm grateful that I didn't get into an accident that night. If you want your story to be featured, share it at the email on the description.